If you're constantly feeling like you don't have enough time to do everything you want to do and need to do in life, then keep watching, because this video could help to shift your mindset and maybe even solve that problem for you. I'm Nick, and my goal with this channel is to help people wake up to their full power, their full beauty, and their full potential. So today's video is just a very, very quick point that I wanted to make on the whole concept of I don't have enough time. This is something we all say at some point. This is something we all feel regularly, especially those of us who are trying to build a business, follow our passion, at the same time as have a social life and do this and do that and work on ourselves. Trust me, I get this. I felt this. I still feel this sometimes. The quick point I wanted to make on this is I don't think this is so much of an issue of time as it is an issue of priorities. So if we look at our days, the majority of us spend time watching TV and doing this and that when we could really be doing some more important things. So the purpose of this video is just to point out to you that you don't have time because. There's always a because. You don't have time because you prioritize social life over work. You don't have time because family is more important to you than the business you're trying to build, for example. Now, if you've already taken a look at your priorities and you can't shift things around any better, then this video probably isn't going to be much help to you. But if you realize that actually you're watching more TV than you think you were, or you're hanging out with your friends when you could be doing other stuff, or maybe you're even going to bed earlier than you need to, anything along these lines, time issues usually are actually just priority issues. What do you prioritize in your life? And take note of your week's schedule. What do you normally do in a week? Just make some notes throughout the day of how much time you spend on each thing and see if your behaviors actually align with your priorities. Because for most of us, they really, really don't, even when we feel like they do. We can feel like we're working so hard and we just don't have enough time, but maybe we could work smarter in this space of time. And maybe we could cut this out here to create that space that we need. There is usually something we can do about it, and it is normally an issue of priorities more than it is an issue of time. So try and have a look at your life through the lens of I don't have time because, and think about what your because is. Is it because you're wasting too much time here and there? Or is it because you're prioritizing something over another thing? And is that what you want to do? Or do you want to shift those priorities around? If you realize that you're prioritizing the wrong things, if you don't have time because you've made this thing a priority over this thing, when actually that's more important, then shift it around. But if you realize that, say, you don't have enough time because you prioritize family time over work time, and that's how you want it to be, then this is your chance to accept that, to practice acceptance and to practice gratitude for the fact that you're able to make that list of priorities, for the fact that you have a family that you prioritize so highly that you're willing to sacrifice something else for it. That is something to be grateful for in itself. So this video is about recognizing that this is a choice that you're making. It's not that someone has put a time restriction on you and you really genuinely can't do this stuff. It's that you choose what you prioritize. So you don't have time because you've chosen one thing over another. This is down to you and your decision making. So when we can take ownership of these things, it takes away that kind of like victim feeling, like we've been hard done by and robbed of our time, because it can really feel like that, and that's a fair enough feeling. But when you realize that actually your time issues are down to your priorities and you're choosing this, you could drop any one of those things and invest that time somewhere else if you wanted to. But really, the choice is yours. So own your choice, be grateful for your choice, and accept that. Accept that you chose to live this way because that's how you want to live. And that's great. Practice gratitude for that. And yeah, there are time restrictions. We do have limited time, but that just is what it is. This is where we have to practice acceptance for that as well, because it's out of our control. Anything that's out of our control, we have to just practice acceptance towards that. So I hope this video helped you to recognize where your priorities are at, to shift things around if you needed to, and if you didn't need to accept and love your life as it is now, to be grateful for the fact that you have these things that are so important to you that you prioritize them over everything else, and to have so many things that you're passionate about in life that you want to do all this stuff. That in itself is something to be grateful for. So recognize this: we choose our time, we choose our priorities, and anything beyond that, We just have to practice acceptance towards that. So this was just a quick little video on an idea that came to me the other day. I hope it was useful to you in some way. Let me know down in the comments if it was. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and stay tuned every Friday and Sunday for new videos.